We're at the inaugural TBEX Asia. We're in Bangkok at the moment, and I'm talking to Kei Shibata, who has just given us the keynote presentation this morning, introducing the TBEX audience to what's happening in the blogger world here in Asia. So first of all, I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about how Asia is very much different to Europe and the US when it comes to blogging.
Well, as I mentioned in my keynote, Asia is big, and then it's not the one country. It has so many different countries, so it's very diverse, and you want to make sure that the different country has a different characteristics. So it's so hard to describe in one way.
So a few things that I picked up from your presentation is exactly that. It is not one country, and you have to approach every country individually and almost separately. So it's a huge task, it's a huge challenge. Mm-hmm. The other thing I picked up on was the fact that mobile technology is so much more advanced here. So people have to be mobile friendly, mobile ready, their sites, etc. How do they go about that?
Well, you want to actually change your mentality first of all. So I know all the travel blogging people, they are so much used to desktop, like notebook, whatever. So you want to really change your mindset first of all. And then it's interesting. Like yesterday, what I did was I always kind of browse the internet and then just shrink the window. And then you can see the sort of responsive design, whether if it's optimized to mobile or not. So this is one example.
Very good. Tell me, this is the inaugural TBEX Asia.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had one before. There's maybe 600-700 bloggers here. There's a few from Japan, a few from China, but primarily they are from Bangkok. A lot of people here from North America, mm-hmm. from Europe, etc. Yep. This has to grow. This has to get bigger.
It's inevitably, I think it's going to happen because Asia has a huge population. Of course, many people actually not necessarily being able to speak and communicate in English, enough to talk with or interact with different people. But still there are so many countries, and in a country like Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, there's so many bloggers out there. They're all being able to communicate in English. So I think there's the wave of Asian bloggers. It's definitely coming ahead for TBEX.
And is there anything else like this in Asia at the moment, a Pan-Asian bloggers conference, or are they just on a national level at the moment?
I really like the sort of Pan-Asian or APAC model because it's because the Asian also traveling across the region. So the Chinese travelers, a lot of them actually coming to Japan, and then they go to everywhere, right? They go to Australia, they go to Singapore, Hong Kong. So it's really hard to describe just from the one country's perspective.
And tell me, last question, how does the European or North American blogger distribute their content into the Asian audience? There's different platforms, there's different languages, there's different apps. A few tips and advice maybe on how one can do that?
That's a very good question. So I think one idea is, we already have a lot of challenges in translation, first of all. So I personally don't recommend to translate 100%. So you definitely wanted to find some collaborator in this region who can understand the English and some local language, and then let them actually sort of curate the content. So that's actually one way. Maybe in the fashion that I actually described, like a top 5 beach resort in Phuket, that kind of thing. So it's much easier, and then much easier to consume for users, and then also much easier to publish for bloggers. So, and also the platform argument, that's actually is really hard because you want to actually reach out to the many different platforms, but sometimes it takes a while, and then you need to have like a media power to negotiate with them. So there gotta be some solution out there. But the one solution is actually like working with the company like us. We know the original market.
So you're travel.jp.
We are travel.jp, and then also we are running a Trip 101, which is the English-based blogging platform targeting all over the world, and including Asia.
So is that Trip 101?
Trip 101.
Excellent. Well, Kei, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.